So why do you need a slipper clutch, and why don't you need a slipper clutch? Let's talk about it from the perspective of a relatively new rider on a small bike, because it's a little different as you improve your skills and do other things. Welcome back to Moto Remy, Remy Moto, whatever we're calling it this week. I have the last version of the CB300R without a slipper clutch. The next year they made that bike, they put one in, and most of the bikes in that category now have one. But why? What is it about a slipper clutch that is worthwhile? Why would you not want one? And what is it really doing for you? Because let's face it, these are not MotoGP bikes. These are not massively powerful machines. Why, what is it doing? What is the purpose? First, let's talk about what a slipper clutch really does. If the rear wheel is not moving the same speed as the transmission, it's one more layer, basically. You know, you've got your clutch, you've got your throttle, and you can rev match, and you can ease that throttle in or out using the friction zone. This gives you a direct, from the rear wheel to the transmission kind of play, where, I mean, we've all probably done it, right? You drop a gear, and you didn't quite rev match. And if you were low in your RPMs, suddenly your rear wheel is not spinning. Or sorry, suddenly your rear wheel is spinning too fast for your transmission. And basically, it gets a massive amount of engine braking all of a sudden. When you do that, it's real easy to break that rear wheel loose. I mean, it's not hard at all. It goes the other way as well. But mostly it's a downshifting kind of thing. Upshifting, you kind of have your friction zone in the clutch. It's a little easier to balance that out. I'm assuming, and I do not know for sure, that on much bigger, more powerful machines, all the way up through the MotoGP bikes, that it has more benefit on upshifts. I have a 286cc bike that upshifting rarely has enough power to cause any trouble. So while I'm here talking to the camera, why aren't you subscribed? Why haven't you clicked like on this video? Why? Why ask why? Just do it. Come on. It really helps the channel out. It really makes a big difference in not just having you here more often because you see the video come up in your subscription feed. It helps YouTube decide that, hey, this is a worthwhile channel and maybe I should show it to other people. So please, give me a Christmas present a little early. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate it, guys. Happy holidays. Why would you want this? What is it really doing for you on a small bike? And the answer really is, it's saving you from yourself. It's saving you from your own mistakes. I was riding back from the grocery store today. I'm like, okay, we're gonna downshift to the stop. And I was a little quick, and I felt that rear tire slip. A slipper clutch would have solved that. It would have avoided that. Now, in a straight line, coming to a stop, well, no big deal, right? What if you're going around a corner in the wet? You downshift for whatever reason. You should have got your downshifting done before the corner, but hey, we all do it, right? It happens. You're in the corner, or maybe you didn't get off the clutch and you're still trying to ease your way back into the power, right? That slipper clutch can help you avoid having that rear tire pop free. It's little help, just a little extra saving grace, right? Now, MotoGP riders use it so that they can be harder on the power and not pop that rear tire loose in, you know, crazy situations. They're really pushing the envelope, right? So for them, it's less about saving them from their own mistakes as, well, I don't care how perfect I am. When you're riding this hard, minor imperfections in the road surface, your tire's starting to wear. You know, these are all things that are outside of the rider's control. And when you're pushing that hard, it helps. Now, I don't personally believe you should be pushing that hard on the road. I just don't. But people do it. And if you're going to do it, all the nannies in the world are helpful. They just, if it keeps you that little bit safer, good. Look, you do you. I'm not here to tell you you can't do it. But you do you. Like, it's not, I'm not law enforcement. I am not traffic enforcement. As long as you don't involve me in your stupidity, power to you, it's fun. I'm not going to tell you it's not. But why would you not want one? Because there are people who don't want one. Stunt riders probably don't most of the time. Guys who, a lot of experience, and they want to use that to help them back the bike in, because yeah, you can use your rear brake. I have anti-lock brakes that really don't let me do it. The only way I can get that rear tire to come free is to downshift and shift badly, for lack of a better term. I've done it intentionally a couple times. It's not really, I don't want to beat on the bike, so I don't do it as a regular thing, but just to learn how the bike works, how it's going to handle when it happens, as a way to get a better feel for when the rear tire comes loose. What's that going to do, right? We've already mentioned that it reduces the consequences of rider mistakes, however small. If your mistake could have caused that rear tire to come loose, if it's a power thing and it was the sudden change in power, slipper clutch might save you. It can help. One of the other reasons you might not want one, or the manufacturer may choose to not put one, which I think is a lot of why they were not involved in the smaller CC market for a long time, cost and complexity. They take up space and they take up money. And both of those things are a premium on a smaller, inexpensive bike. Larger, more expensive bikes, slipper clutches have been common for a long time, relatively speaking. Small bikes, relatively new. And I think it just boils down to that, hey, if we're trying to meet a price point, what can we take out? What can we leave off? ABS is one of those features people really are looking for, and they usually offer it without it, but most of them ship with it. Regulation-wise, ABS is almost required now. But slipper clutch, we can just leave that off, right? Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at that on the spec sheet. If anything, it sounds bad. Why do I want my clutch to slip? You know, I've got a clutch lever for that. I don't want it to slip when I don't tell it to. No, let's be fair here. The slipper clutch is not really doing a whole lot that a skilled rider can't do. So my question is, on the street, particularly with a bigger, heavier bike not being ridden aggressively, do you guys notice? Like, is that, the real question here, say on a bigger Harley, is that a thing? Do you ever not quite rev match right and feel the rear tire break free on a big heavy bike like that? On a BMW GS on normal pavement, is that a thing? I don't know. I've never ridden those bikes like that. I'm curious. I found very mixed information when I searched this online. When I Googled this, weird stuff. People were very confused. So I'm curious. What is your experience with and without a slipper clutch? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Put it in the comments. You know, did your bike have one by default and you didn't want one? Did it not have one and you wished it did? Did you choose a bike specifically because it had a slipper clutch, or at least was that on your criteria, you know, when you were shopping, that it had to have it? So anyway, take care, have fun, ride safe, guys.